Hello, guten Tag. Here is the 2019 reading paper, Tier, which is on the GGS Cloud Revision website. And if we scroll down, we've got one of those past, present and future questions where we're looking for time phrases and the verbs, the subject and the main verb. Where does the main verb go? Second. Excellent. And what kind of verbs, what kind of words send the verbs to the end? Subordinating conjunctions, those ones such as weil, da, obwohl. What's a synonym of obwohl? Obgleich. And wenn, for example. Bis, nachdem. Okay, so we're looking for the main verbs and they normally come second, but of course we need to think about what tenses the verbs are in. We need to look for the clues as well as the time phrases, the clues with the verbs. So, past verbs. What goes second in the perfect tense and what goes last normally. Remember that the bit of haben or sein, clicky sein, clappy haben, normally goes second. Not always the second word, but the second idea. So you might have, as we have in Jakob, in the middle, and we go and I'll highlight him in green. Here we have Jakob, and we're looking to see what tense he's talking in to begin with. So we have the first three words, in der Grundschule, and then second we have habe, and last we have gespielt. We know that often a technique for the reading is that you look at the end of the sentence and work your way back to the beginning of the sentence. We often have to wait, don't we, until the end of the sentence to find out what's going on or what happened or what will happen. So we have got that past tense in that first sentence. What have we got in the second sentence for Jakob? Well, if we go and put him in blue, the main verb, we look for it, is it second word or second idea? Well, we've got muss, and that is a modal verb. What has to come with a modal verb? What goes at the end of a modal verb sentence? That's right, that's an infinitive, normally ending in en or eln. And of course, we've got that in en. Then what's in Jakob's third sentence? Well, we've got the first three words in der Oberstufe, which is the equivalent of sixth form, but it also incorporates year 11, 12 and 13. Because of course, remember that Cultural Corner, Germany starts at 6 years old, mit 6 Jahren, not at, but with, mit 6 Jahren, and they still have 13 years, but so finishing slightly later in terms of year and age, Alter. So what have we got in the third sentence? The third sentence we've got is let's do it in gelb, someone's favourite colour, Lieblingsfarbe from year 7, Toby, and gelb. And what have we got here? Second. So it's the second idea, but it's not the second word. In der Oberstufe is one idea, eine Idee. Second is werde. What have we got? That indicates it could mean I become. Just normal, present tense, Gegenwart. But if we look at the end of the sentence, remember, always look to the end. And you've got the infinitive, teilnehmen. Now, teilnehmen is actually a separable verb. But of course, if it's in the infinitive form, in the future tense or with a modal verb, the separable verb will stay together, zusammen. You won't have the prefix going to the end like a normal present tense modal verb because it's got to be in the infinitive form because it's got werde second. Just like with muss, a modal verb has to have an infinitive at the end. So, top tip for the reading. Look at the time phrases. Look for the main subject and the main verb. We know the main verb normally goes second, not the second word necessarily, but the zweite Idee, the second idea. And we know to look at the end of the sentence. What kind of verb is at the end of the sentence if there is a verb at the end of the sentence? Check. Is it infinitive or is it the past tense? Is it beginning with GE, ending in a T? Those are regular. That will have a bit of haben or sein. Second, unless that bit of haben and sein has been sent afterwards because of one of those subordinating words like weil, da, obwohl, obgleich, wenn that we mentioned at the beginning of the video. So we've got an idea of the time phrase and the tense, which should help you with these types of questions, which are past, present and future. So Jakob, we can see already the AQA have filled in the past and the present, so we don't need to worry about that. Don't worry about wasting time with that. we're looking for the future. So for the future, we had to wait, didn't we? With Jakob, we had to wait until the end of Jakob's paragraph. 3 sentences in, you get to the future. In der Oberstufe werde ich an vielen AGs teilnehmen. Now, this is where your vocabulary learning comes into play. You've got the Oberstufe, you've got AGs. Do you remember what AGs means? Aktionsgemeinschaften. So AGs is the equivalent of clubs. Gemeinschaft is community, and Aktion, action. Teilnehmen, teil means part, and nehmen means take. So what would we say? Take part, participate. Yeah? Okay, a synonym for that, another separable verb is mitmachen, to join in, mitmachen. So, an vielen AGs. An, there's no movement, it's one of those flamingo ones. So no movement, dative plural, da-da, da-da-da, en, vielen AGs. AGs, therefore, doesn't have, bizarrely, the dative plural doesn't end in en here, but the vielen does. Let's focus, though, on the future. That's what we need to do, but we need the vocabulary. So, in der Oberstufe werde ich an vielen AGs teilnehmen. So what will he do in the future? He will take part, participate in German we say on, in lots of school clubs. That's the answer for Jakob. Okay, Anna. Now, in Anna's one, the present and the future are already filled in, so we don't need to waste time. However, look at what AQA has done. Let's go for Anna. Now, the first sentence, let's keep it yellow. This first sentence, you've got the time phrase. So we said look for the time phrases, which is next to ja. We have got the verb werde, which is second. And we know that we need to look to the end of the sentence, which is bekommen. A false friend, it doesn't mean to become, it means to get or receive. Remember that werden means to become. However, we don't need to really worry about that. We can discount that as soon as we know it's future, we can discount it because what we're looking for is the past. So what's the time phrase here? Let's look for green. Let's look for a green time phrase. We're going to go here. And so we've got the time phrase letztes Jahr. Okay. Entschuldigung for the Lärm, for the noise, my Drucker, my printer was making. So letztes Jahr. So we could just automatically scan the text and look for the time phrase that we're needing. Okay. So we're scanning for the past tense time phrase. Then we know that the past tense and could be the imperfect ending in te, for example, like wollte or musste or hatte or war, okay, or es gab, or it could be the perfect tense 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we know that with the perfect tense 1, 2, 3, we need a bit of klappy haben or clicky sein, normally second, not second word, but the zweite Idee. Well, look here, we've got it, habe. If we look to the end before either the Punkt, the full stop, or the comma, we know that we're going to find the past participle, the action done. Normally ending in T, normally beginning with GE, but remember, when it's a separable verb in the past, the G goes in the Mitte, exactly right, in the middle. So, zugehören, yeah, or zuhören. Zugehören would be, well, gehören can mean to belong to, but it doesn't mean that. Zuhören is to listen to. To listen to, as opposed to just listen or hear. And we know that with separable verbs, the G goes in the middle. So look, zugehört. So we've got letztes Jahr habe ich den Lehrern. Now what we're doing here is we've got to whom are we not listening? To whom didn't we ever listen last year? We have got the teacher. Or in this case, the teachers. Okay? So it could be the accusative masculine. So what's the time phrase here? What's the frequency phrase? We've got letztes Jahr and we've also got a frequency phrase which is nie, never. Okay, so what happened in the past? Anna never listened to the teacher. Okay, or never listened to the teachers. And it would be the teacher with den. But now I am more hardworking, and that is the present tense there. Okay. Emily. Well, Emily has got the past and Emily has got the future. So we don't need to worry about the past. We don't need to worry about the future. Do we need to look to the end? Well, we've got in der Zukunft, haven't we? We've got in der Zukunft, which is a future time phrase, so we know we can discount it. Okay, we've got Emily's discounted in der Zukunft, möchte ich, so we don't need to worry about that. We can discount that. Past, went to a music school, so let's look for the clues for the past, find the past, so we can discount that part of information as well. And what have we got? We have got mit 10 Jahren. So we would say at 10 years old. In German, we say with 10 years, mit 10 Jahren. There's the bit of clicky sign. Second idea, not second word. Mit 10 Jahren is 3 words. Bin ich an einer Musikschule? And then we look to the end of the sentence or the clause before the comma, gegangen. So we know that's the past. And there we've also got the imperfect look. Konnte, was able to, used to be able to, not could, would be able to. So actually, with Emily, we're actually going on with the first sentence. Look for the time phrase we said, didn't we? So letztes Jahr. Letztes Jahr. Not that one. Dieses Jahr. Yes, what's dieses Jahr? Dieses Jahr means this year. So actually, we didn't really need to bother wasting time looking at the other clauses and tenses if you were doing this as a reading thing. But what we're doing here, and you could use this text to help you with your writing and your speaking preparation, looking for verbs and structures. So we've got dieses Jahr, and there's the main verb. The main verb is second, lerne ich Klavier, was nicht so einfach ist. Now this was, which, what, and then we know it's one of those relative clauses, sending the verb to the end, subordinating clauses, so the verb is at the end, is. So we always have to look to the end and work our way back, don't we? So here we go. We've got this year I am learning Klavier. Now again, this comes down to your Vokabeln lernen. Klavier. Free time, Freizeit, Musik, ja, piano. Einfach, it's an adjective. Einfach is a synonym of leicht, the opposite of schwierig or schwer. So it means, einfach means easy or simple. So what you would put for Emily, so she said she went to the music school, but in the present tense, what is she doing this year? She is learning the piano. So looking for time phrases, looking for the frequency words, time phrases, and then look for the main verb. What is the main verb? Then look to the end just to check what kind of verb, if there is one, is at the end of the sentence or the clause before a comma, if not a full stop. Work your way back. Be careful about jumping on the first thing you see. But in sometimes what we can do, a skill, is to discount a bit of information because it's got that time phrase which we know we're not looking for. We're not looking for the past for Jakob. We're not looking for the past for Emily, but we are looking for the past for Anna. So with the nächstes Jahr, we know we don't need that little bit. We're looking for a time phrase for the past. Alles klar? Wunderbar.